Hi, thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel, Thoughts to Freedom. My name is Kim, and in my videos I help people to identify and to change their thoughts to achieve freedom. And freedom is joy, happiness, peace, and serenity, among many other good feelings. And comparing the brain to a radio, there are two thought systems, the ego and the spiritual world. These are like two radio stations. EGO 15 comes from your ego and Free 100 comes from your spirit. You can access 15% of what life has to offer, or you can access 100% with the spiritual radio station. My videos here on YouTube have to do with thoughts and the thinking for the small self and the spiritual self with a capital S. So the small self-consciousness and the greater expanded consciousness. It is not a channel that will be exploring the zodiac signs or a large number of topics on spirituality. My channel is to help improve your thoughts and become much more aware of them. So everything revolves around your thinking. I do have a brain here, and below I have hearts. And most of us think with our brain, but gradually or eventually with the training of our thoughts and mind, we will drop it down to the heart. So for me, my brain is 15 inches from my heart, and that is the longest journey any of us will make in life. So for today, I would like to mention Eckhart Tolle and his spiritual leadership, and especially his book, Thoughts, The Power of Now. This was published in 1999, and since then he has become a spiritual guru and has inspired many of us in our own spiritual pathway. I read this book about 10 or more years ago when I started my own awakening. And in reading his book and about his life, he was suffering quite substantially while he was basically listening to the radio station EGO 15. He was in a bad state of mind, and while he was desperate to find a way out of his misery, he shouted out, "I just cannot stand myself." So he caught himself up as he realized he was talking about his small self, the self that listens to EGO 15. He then entered into Free 100, and that is where the present moment is. It is on the spiritual radio station, and that is where one does access God and the Spirit many times. It is also referred to as source energy. So therefore, for a lengthy period of time, he was thinking with his ego and abruptly switched to spiritual thinking. So one can only access the spiritual world in the present moment. You must be in the present moment. You must be in the now. Or you get to the spiritual radio station because you enter into the moment of now. But on the other hand, and with our ego mind, we cannot access the spiritual world. Only the past and the future are part of the ego thought system, and you are unable to get to the now in the spiritual world. Only EGO 15 is where you can go. That is why one can only access 15% of what life can offer. So Eckhart Tolle went through a magnificent transformation, and quite abruptly. And that can happen, as there is another author out there by the name of Michael Singer, who one day got out of bed in the morning and sat down for his morning coffee, and like a flash of light awakened to the spiritual realm, or the spiritual connection. And then he proceeded to write The Untethered Soul. And that spiritually based book was another one that enlightenment suddenly happened. And my understanding was that Michael Singer did not particularly suffer from any type of anxiety or misery in his life, but he did abruptly wake up to the spiritual life. So when looking at the chart and the ego-based radio station, you can see that past and future have something in common, and that neither one exists. That doesn't even exist. So how can you create anything there? Well, you can't. It's not possible. Or you can, but it's ego-based. So there's no real power there. So how can you create anything of worth? So there's really over here no change and no growth there. It's a no growth zone. So on the other side, on Free 100, the present moment is where source energy is, the now. And that's where you can be free in a heavenly state of joy and laughter and creativity. So for the most part, you need to stay in the now, or you need to stay on the Free 100 radio station. And from there, you can increase your power, your joy, and you can have freedom. Where a person resides mainly on the spiritual side of life, that is where the inspiration comes to develop your purpose in life and produces something of worth to help others. So how can you train the mind to listen to the present moment and not the past and not the future? Well, as one travels through the spiritual awakening process and engages in meditation and a life of training your mind, you can find yourself in the present moment. But that is difficult. And my own mind wanders to the future and back to the past, and it is like the present moment is a void, or was a void. The past is a place I spend time in, and the future I also spend time in. And it is like the present moment, initially for me, was a moment that had nothing in it. It was like sitting in total silence. So it is good to stop in the space called the present moment. And if you have no thoughts there, spend time there and create a space there. Wait for the thoughts to enter that space. And of course, open your heart to it like you are home. Know that it may take time. It is, in fact, an evolutionary process, and you have to be patient. It will come and you will change. But if you are in a place of hatred, or you are harboring resentments, the present moment doesn't want to spend any time there. Like a room full of angry people and a room full of laughing people, which room do you want to go into? Well, my guess is that it would be the place with the laughter coming through the door. Does the spiritual world want to be with you? If you are angry and unhappy, not many people want to spend time with that either. So why would the spiritual world want to be with you if you are not creating a happy home environment inside yourself? So go ahead and seek out that present moment, but it will come more naturally for those who have even a small spark or glimmer of joy inside them. So that is all I have for today, and I wanted to mainly talk about the past and the future, and of course the present moment. That's the only place to be, is in the present moment, to create and expand and have your best life. So anyway, I will see you again on my next videos, Thoughts to Freedom. And if you like my videos, please do like and subscribe. So thank you very much.